Hey Jackals fans, I'm Alex Cammarata here with Jackals pitcher Mat Latos. And Matt, obviously last week against the Rockland Boulders, there was a brawl that ensued while you were on the mound. A lot of headlines, in fact, all the headlines will read that you started the brawl, but that's not the case. What does it mean to you that you kind of read these headlines and see that Mat Latos started it when you were just retaliating for something that happened?
It's whatever. Kind of at the point where I'm used to it. Um, I guess if I was a no-name nobody and hadn't had big league experience, then I guess it really wouldn't have mattered who sparked what, who did what. But like at the end of the day, when I first threw at the guy and I missed him the first time, it should have been done and over with. But like it was a thing of in the big leagues, like we have a slide rule, so if something like that were to happen, even at second base, it's the same thing. And like you have to protect your teammates, and it was it wasn't anything. It was personal against the hitter at the time. It was just the fact that the guy went in at my catcher with his forearm into his neck. Like he could have gone anywhere else. Like you could have went through him towards the plate, or you could have went into his body. But when you got a defenseless catcher coming in for a tag, and he's left himself open, and you purposely go at him at his throat, like up towards his head, up towards the head area, it doesn't sit well with me because you can get guys hurt, and same thing with me. You can argue the same thing with me. The second pitch that I threw was above the guy's head, and it wasn't at him. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to hit the guy where the first pitch was. The first pitch was at the ribs. I'm trying to hit him in his body. I'm trying to hit him in his ribs. That kind of area. So I wasn't trying to go after the guy at his head. But as far as me being the one that started it all, um, I really feel like I just poured a little bit of gasoline on a fire that had already been started, and I think it was just an easy route for everybody just to say that I was the one that was causing it all. So anybody who has seen the first video of our catcher getting blown up and then me retaliating, and anybody who is smart in the game of baseball sense, they understand. And I got a lot of text messages, a lot of phone calls from people that were like, "Hey, dude, like that's how you play baseball. You got to stand up for your other players who can't do anything. You know what I mean?" So, but as far as everybody else who wants to say that I started it, I mean, you go right ahead. You're not going to please man no matter what you do. You know what I mean? There's things that I'll do in my life, in my career, and that'll please certain people and piss other people off, and vice versa. There's the thing that I won't do that'll please people and then piss the other people off. So I just know that I stood up for my teammates. Am I trying to start a brawl right there? No, I'm not trying to start a brawl because I'm not trying to set the example for kids. Like I'm not trying to set that type of example, but I am going to set the example of is you have to protect your teammates that can't do anything. You know what I mean? Like I would expect if I'm a hitter and Torres is the pitcher and I get blown up like that, I'd expect Torres to do it or somebody else to do that type of thing. But there's just a way to go about stuff, and again, not necessarily the fact of me throwing that ball up towards his head area. That's not how you go about it. But it's done and it's over with. It happened. We played the next game. We talked to a bunch of those other players. I spoke to a few of their players after the next day. Everybody else on the team talked to their players. Like it was just done and it was over with. It's unfortunate that it happened, but that's the game of baseball, or it used to be the game of baseball back in the day. They used to do a lot of that stuff, and nobody really does it anymore. And it's not necessarily the greatest of examples, but I like to play old school type where if something like that happens, I want these guys to know that I have their back when stuff like that happens.
And it's good that you guys got revenge walking it off in that game and winning it. I mean, that's probably the best revenge of all, let alone fighting aside, to play it on the field and win cleanly like that.
Yeah, and that was another good thing. And the other good thing about it is the person who it was off of. We went back and I've looked at the video a bunch of times, and I got sucker punched in the back of the head. Torres got sucker punched in the back of the head, and somebody else got sucker punched in the back of the head by the guy who actually pitched the last inning, and he gave up those runs. So it was also kind of a double revenge to look back at the tape and see a guy that's like going around and like hitting people that were on the pile with their back turned. So I think that was pretty awesome.
And it's so easy for a fan when they see that to oversee the fact that, oh, Matt's starting a brawl here because that's the video they're seeing, when in reality you're stepping up and being a good teammate and responding to what happened in the previous play. So I think sometimes when people see the video clip, they kind of get it misconstrued, and it's glad that you're opening up about this now, because that was something that I personally read, and I know you probably didn't care about it, but I think it was all just taken out of context in that situation.
Yeah, it kind of bothered me a little bit, but then I started thinking about it, and it's like, well, of course, like if I was nobody, if I was just a nobody, if I wasn't or hadn't had big league experience, I don't think it really would have been that big of a deal, or it wouldn't have blown up as much. But because of who I am, and sometimes I have to take that into consideration, and at the time I really don't, because it's an emotional, it's an emotional part of the game and stuff like that. Like at that point in time, it was very emotional. There's a lot of emotions going on, and a lot of high strung, high energy, types going on at that point in time, and so you kind of really don't take a step back and look at it and be like, me personally being like, okay, well, if I do this right now, it's going to blow up to this proportion. If somebody else were to do it, it'd be like they'd be like, oh, look, there's a fight on TV, and kind of be done and over with. But there's I guess it's just like almost like a teaching moment where I kind of have to be a little better about that kind of thing, or I have to be better about that, and maybe go about my business a little different. But like I said, I'm huge on protecting my teammates, no matter what it is or who it is. At that point in time, whenever I'm on the mound, and that's the way that I am, because I don't want people to get hurt. You know what I mean? Like that right there was real bad, and I know it's kind of I guess more of a could it be a double standard? The fact that I don't want people to get hurt, but then I throw at somebody and then we get into a brawl, kind of a thing. It's more of just like.
But I don't think you can look at it as a standard
you
in baseball when you're responding as a pitcher that way. When you're controlling the game with the ball in your hand, that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, but I don't know. I look at it both. Like I said, right now you look at it at both sides, and it's at the time in my brain that clicks, and it's like, okay, that's the right thing to do, is to stand up to my teammate, and I mean, you have to do that. You have where is it? I mean, he can't. He technically he could stand up for himself by just throwing a fist the next time he saw the guy or whatever. But like at that point in time, like I'm on the mound and I'm like, all right, well, if that's the way that they're going to play this game, then I'm going to hit the next batter. And my thought process on that was, okay, well, he just trucked our catcher and he just caused that, and I just drilled another guy, the complete opposite guy who didn't do anything. So if I drill him and I get him good, he's going to go up to that guy and be like, hey, dude, like, maybe you shouldn't be doing that next time because I'm the one that's having to wear your responsibility, type of a thing. And that's the way that I looked at it at that point in time, is where you get him pissed off at him because he trucked the catcher, and I drilled him. I drilled the next guy, and then so he's gonna look at that guy who trucked the catcher and be like, hey, dude, like, I'm not gonna take the rap for your crap anymore, that kind of thing. But again, like I said, it started something that escalated to where it shouldn't have. But again, I did it to stand up for a teammate. It wasn't, it wasn't like I wanted to get into a fight. It was just more of like, hey, like, that crap doesn't fly with me. And listen, boom. My whole thing was, boom, I hit that guy, done and over with. Maybe there's chirping back and forth or whatever. He goes first base. We call it a day. I get back on my mound. I start pitching. We go about our business. And it escalated to what it escalated. So, for every reaction, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So,
outside of all that, finally, this is your first season in independent baseball with the Jackals. What's it been like transitioning from big league ball to here? Obviously, it's probably night and day, but how's it been going for you personally in terms of soaking it all in the independent ranks here?
Baseball is baseball. Yes, it's an independent league, and it's not where I was. But at the end of the day, I need to play. Is what I need to do. I need to get back to where I was, or close to it. The surgery has really messed me up. With having to fight through everything and not really having the strength in my knee and my leg in general. But it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of guys that you look out here that are playing this game who haven't been, to high levels, but they're out here busting their tail and they're playing this game, the game of baseball, and they're playing it because they love doing it. It's been pretty interesting. Like Andy Mock would be the catcher. Just talking with him, and the dude. He's a rookie. He's out of high school or just out of college, and dude's having so much fun right now playing indie ball. You know what I mean? When other guys are looking at it, and other guys are pissed off that they're in like high A or double A, and this kid's freaking living it up in indie ball. So it's a good, at least I guess like humbling experience to be down here to like see that kind of stuff, and hopefully I'm able to take another step, to where I want to be. And if not, then it is what it is, and it's time to rethink, some things about what's going on.
And you got a good locker room of talent. You got a mix of major league guys, triple A, double A experience, and rookie and stuff like that. So for you as a major leaguer, do you think that your experience kind of rubs off on your teammates? Do you go around and tell them kind of how it works in the big leagues, or is that something they should probably get up there and experience themselves?
I tend to back off from guys. I don't want to like get in guys, I guess, faces, I guess, and try to like tell them how things are done or how to do things, because I think everybody's different and that sort of thing. But if somebody, obviously, if somebody gets out of line, then there's a little bit of a difference there. But I've had people that have come in that have talked to me and have asked me for help, like the guys on the pitching staff and stuff. So it's good to try to give them as much knowledge from what I've taken from a lot of the guys that I've had conversations with up at the top, and old school guys, and then guys that I've played with. So it's good to pass that knowledge down, and you never know. Something that I might say to somebody might click for them, and then the next step they're gone out of here in like double A or triple A, and then who knows where they go from there. So it's been fun. I kind of feel like the grandfather of the team, but it's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. The clubhouse is really good. Guys come to me and they ask questions, and we have a good time. We joke around, we laugh, we have fun. Other than, like I said, the Brawl. But it's been a really good experience.
All right, Jackals fans, Mat Latos, Jackals starting pitcher. I'm Alex Cammarata. Thank you so much for watching.